What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, my name is AkeemHaynes. I'm a two-time Olympian, Olympic bronze medalist, author, motivational speaker, and sports commentator. On my channel, we talk boxing, MMA, track and field, and of course, motivation and encouraging content. If this is something that you enjoy, then I hope that you subscribe to the channel. Now, let's get into the video. Now, we haven't done too much MMA on the channel in the recent months, but the new year is here and we have a good one that's going to be happening this weekend. I'm talking about UFC 283, Glover Teixeira versus Jamahal Hill. Let's get into it. Let's start with Glover Teixeira. Glover is coming into this one with a record of 33 wins, 8 losses. We last saw Glover in a Fight of the Year candidate in the MMA when he fought Yuri Prochazka, right? Sometimes you lose a fight and your stock sometimes fall. But when he lost that fight, Glover's stock didn't really fall, right? Glover's stock didn't really fall because of the performance he put together on that night. He almost won that fight. And if it wasn't for the last 15 to 20 seconds, he would have won that fight, in my opinion. He would have got that 5th round. This is a guy with a pretty balanced attack and different ways of winning fights, right? He's got 18 wins by way of knockout, 10 wins by submission, and he's got 5 wins by decision. So he can beat you in different ways. He's not just one-dimensional. He's got some good wins on his resume as well, too. Wins over Sugar Rashad Evans, where he won that one by KO, caught him with the right hand, then put together a barrage of punch. He's got wins over Ryan Bader, Quentin Rampage Jackson, Ovens St. Preux, Jared Cannonier, Anthony Smith, Thiago Santos, Jan Blachowicz. He's got names on his resume. He's been in some wars as well. Some of those names I mentioned go all the way back to 2013. So he's got a lot of wear and tear on his body. He's been into some tough fights. He's 43 years old, and he does look great. When I see Glover Teixeira, sometimes there's fights where I'm seeing him, and one round he will look amazing. He'll look great. He'll look dominant. And another fight, it will look like he is taking a beating. And you're thinking to yourself, man, how is this guy going to make it out of the round? And then he does, and then he finds a way to win the fight. So even at 43, he doesn't have youth on his side, but he has a tremendous amount of experience, heart, and will. He's a guy that you can never truly count out in a fight. He's a much more patient fighter these days. He capitalizes on his opponent's mistakes, and he isn't afraid to bide his time. He's an accurate striker, not the fastest, not the most elusive on defense either, but when he does land, you feel it. He had Yuri Prochazka in trouble in the opening round, getting him on the ground and using that grown man strength, as they say, to his advantage and control the most of round 1. He's a dangerous cat on the ground. Again, don't let the age fool you. At 43 years old, his skills are sharp and refined. Now, with that being said, it'll be interesting to see how much he has left, because his last fight took a lot out of him. Every time that you go into a fight, it takes a little bit more out of you. He's been in some fights where it has taken him into deep, deep waters. And while we always appreciate that, we always love when we see full effort, and these guys are risking their lives. But how much more does he have left? How much more can he pull out? Right? Father Time is undefeated. So I'm just wondering, can he turn back the hands of clock one more time? He'll be at home, right? So he'll have that hometown, home country love, and that energy and the will of the crowd will definitely help him in this fight. It will give him that extra that he needs to help him get the job done. He has the experience. Now let's talk about his opponent, Jamahal Hill. He's in the height of his career right now, 11 wins, 1 loss, 1 no contest, 7 wins by way of knockout. He's fighting at a very high level right now. 2 years ago when he fought Paul Craig, he suffered his first loss. Hill, in that fight, just put himself in a tough position, got his hand trapped. Craig put him in a submission, and a guy who has 13 wins by way of submission, you cannot make those mistakes. You cannot make those mistakes and put someone who knows how to maneuver the body and put you in where he needs you to get to. That night, Hill made a mistake, and that cost him that fight. It not only costed him that fight, but in that same fight, his arm got broken. Now, after a loss like that, right, you're never sure how you're going to respond or how the bones will heal and everything will come with it, how it's going to flow, if you will get back to your old self, if your body will get back to its old self, if your mind will get back to its old self. But since that fight has happened, he has went back to his winning ways. He stopped Jimmy Crute in the first round with that right hand. He was the underdog in that fight. In the fight after that, he caught Johnny Walker with a counter right that hit Johnny Walker on the head that made him stiff as a board before he even fell down. That was a scary knockout. Then he goes on to continue that momentum and show that same toughness and skill when he fought Thiago Santos, who at that time was the number 6 ranked in that division. And Hill caught him with the right hand in the fourth, stumbled him, and eventually got the stoppage. In that fight, he was beyond tested in that fight. And I think how he won that fight was extremely impressive because he had to dig deep to get the job done. He had to go into deep waters, as they say, to find a way how to get that win. And I have no doubt in mind that he will be in for another one of those digging deep water moments against a proven champion and veteran like Glover Teixeira. So who wins? I like this fight for Hill when he is on his feet, right? If it's an upright striking fight, I lean towards Jamahal Hill. When he's in striking range with his power and his accuracy and his counter reflexes, he'll be effective and land at a high rate because he's much quicker than Glover Teixeira at this stage, and Glover is there to get hit. He's not the most elusive guy on defense, especially now. But on the other end, if Glover gets a takedown and takes his fight on the ground, he's going to impose his size, and his jiu-jitsu is going to be on full display. Can he take him there, right? I have no doubt in my mind that at some point during this fight that Jamahal Hill will be on his back. He will be on the ground. The question is, can he not panic, right? Can he not panic and put himself in a more worse position? Can he find a way to withstand some of that storm when it does happen? You also have to keep in mind, too, that Glover is at home. That always helps, right? Glover, I'm assuming, is probably the favorite. I could be wrong. I haven't looked at anything yet. I could be wrong, right? So if the odds do say Glover, right, he's got the more experience, right? He's got more fifth round fights. He's been brought into deeper waters a lot in his career. Even if Glover is not the favorite, it's Jamahal Hill because maybe he may be younger, right? Glover has all of the experience, right? Glover has the experience. He's been into these championship fights before. He's been into these positions before, right? Not only the fights, but everything that comes away, all of the interviews, all of the media, everything that comes with making up of a big moment. Glover is the proven champion. So even when he is not the favorite, if he's not the favorite on the odds, in a way, he's still the favorite because he has been there before. So do you go with the former proven champion? Or do you take a risk to go with the underdog? So in this one, I'm taking Jamahal Hill. I think Jamahal gets it done, right? The right hand is going to land, and it's going to make Glover a little hesitant, and he's going to take advantage of that in the early rounds. I see Jamahal Hill winning the first 3 rounds and Glover fighting back and winning the last 2 rounds. I think it's 3 rounds for Jamahal Hill, 2 for Glover, and I think it ends by way of decision. What are your thoughts on this fight? Who do you have winning? Let me know in the comment section below. If you would like to support the channel, there's a couple ways that you can do so. You can like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you would like to support by way of donation, you can find options in the description below. Also, my Cash App handle will be on screen as well. Any amount goes towards the growth of this channel and will be greatly, greatly appreciated. So with all that being said, if you've been watching the video this long, then do me a favor and subscribe to the channel, and we'll definitely see you next time.